All right, gotta figure out how to turn off that chime. There's Laura.
Hello.
Hi, so we are getting a bunch of people coming in.
Awesome.
And just as a reminder, this is being recorded because a lot of people were like, can't be here today, but I do want to know everything that's going on.
Good. Good.
So, hopefully everybody's okay with that. Also, I know normally for the WGCN event, we don't let the note takers in. I am letting them in for today. Because I'm sure you've got lots of information that's very detailed that people just want to know about what's going on. So
Great. Do you want to wait a minute for people to struggle in, or you want me to start going?
let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're recording it so they can always catch up if they need to.
Okay, and I'm going to share my screen.
Is Brian on?
I'm here. I am
Okay.
on. I'm going to be in the background and probably won't be able to speak because I'm going to start to be in motion. But
Okay.
thanks so much for doing this, Laura and Kimberly. Thank you.
Yep. So, for those that are not aware, this is a joint event between WGCN Fractional General Counsel and the Hay Council groups. We're here to talk about health insurance because, well, it's open enrollment season. We've seen the headlines. It all sucks. So we started with WGCN Fractionals. We were like, hey, let's try to figure out a solution. So we started figuring out, talking to people about what's out there. Laura came onto my radar and she has a potential option for us. So hopefully you got all the rates now and some more information for us. So I'm going to let you take it away, Laura.
Awesome. Perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you all for joining. I am so excited to see all of these people joining this. Usually, health insurance people are not that popular or interesting. So thank you for being here. My name is Laura Delavan. I'm a partner with an insurance agency headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. We are the largest privately held agency in the Southeast and top 50 in the US. I have put together some interesting programs in my past. And so that's kind of how I got hooked up with Kim and got this program kind of going. We were a little late to the game, so we are kind of piggybacking on an existing program. But I partner with a company that does association benefit programs. And so they've given us permission to put these associations and these groups onto an existing group just because the tech build is so big. So there's a couple of little nuances as you go through and kind of look at the plans and pricing that you're going to see. So we'll go over that today and kind of talk about what's available and what you're going to see. So why are we here? If you don't have a television or radio or anything, you probably don't know this, but anyone who does because it's all over the media. The individual insurance marketplace is hammered, right? It opened 7 days ago. The average increase across the country was 26% of premium increases. Coupled with that, the COVID era subsidies are going away on the end of the year. And so coupled with that, the high increases plus the subsidy decreases, the average individual exchange plan member is facing around 115% increase from 2025 to 2026. And so the individual market is just getting hammered this year. And, a lot of you are, you're hanging your own shingle and you don't have access to those big corporate benefits. And so a lot of you are forced to the individual market, which isn't necessarily designed, to look and feel like corporate benefits. A lot of those plans on the individual markets across the country are in network only. Some of them are in state only. A lot of them are narrow networks of doctors because they're trying to control costs because they can only charge based on ages. And when you can only charge based on ages, you might get a lot of really sick people. And so they have to do whatever they can do as far as narrow networks or limiting access to out of state or out of network coverage to help keep their costs low so that they can keep those plans affordable. But it also makes them less desirable for people who maybe have kids in college out of state, maybe you travel out of state, or maybe just like a nice rich PPO plan. And so we've put together this program where we are bringing kind of a rich package of benefits to feel more like a big corporation down to solo entrepreneurs as well as small businesses. And I know both of your groups have lots of those, both of those. And so we've put together something that is great for the solos, also great for the small groups, and quite a few options that you'll be able to enroll in. So with this program, you're going to have opportunity to roll in 8 different medical plans ranging from $0 deductible to $4,000 deductible. There's one HSA, Health Savings Account qualified medical plan, and they're all using Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield's largest national PPO network. So this is really bringing a nice corporate style benefit down to the solos. And because it's a nice PPO, you can travel with it. You can have your kids out of state and college on it. And it's just a nice, rich, robust network of doctors that you'll have access to. You can cover yourself, you can cover your children, and our plan rate started just under $800 for the 2026 year for an individual on the lowest cost plan, up to, I think it was about $1,300 for the richest plan. But these are pretty rich benefits. If you're looking at the individual market, you'll see things with, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 deductibles. These plans are really designed for, to look and feel more like what you'd get if you worked for a Fortune 100 company. So you've got $0 deductibles all the way up to $4,000 on the copay plans, and the HSA plan is a $6,000 deductible. There are a couple of things in the medical plans that are designed to help contain costs to keep the pricing low and to keep the renewals low. The first thing is that the plan does not cover accidents. There's a lot of accidents get shoved onto the medical plan that are really the onus to cover those accidents is going to be on an automotive policy, or if it's another driver's fault on their automotive policy. And what really tends to happen with a lot of these accidents is the person who gets hurt throws their medical ID card out and the claim goes there. And eventually it subrogates over to the automotive policy, but it can take years. And so if a large claim is stuck on that medical policy for a couple of years, it's going to drive up the renewals because it hasn't subrogated off the policy yet. And so what this program does is it removes accidents from the major medical, and then it gives you a secondary accident policy that you can couple with it so that you can have additional accident coverage, but it keeps some of those big accident claims off the major medical and separates it to a separate policy where it can be consolidated and more easily subrogated, or at least corralled to a different policy and not sitting on that medical policy for years. There are also some recommendations in the material, things like making sure that your own automobile policy has excellent medical coverage. And I also would recommend, if you're traveling or doing things like extreme sports, traveling for skiing, skydiving, bungee jumping, there are policies that you can buy on the internet for travel medical for dangerous sports that you may want to consider if you're going on a ski trip or going on something maybe a little bit more of a dangerous hobby, is adding that small policy on just for that trip so that you've got a little extra accident coverage.
Laura, I'm going to interrupt you so that we have the questions are relevant right now that are coming in on the chat.
Sure.
And I think you just answered it, but I want to make it clear. Alicia asked, is this for automobile accidents only or all injuries related to accidents?
Great. So the wording on the coverage is that anything you'd sign a waiver for. And so think, skiing, automobiles, etc. So that's why they offer that secondary accident policy, and by and large, most people add that policy on so that they're adding that accident coverage back into the program, just not on the medical policy.
Okay. So like Dina asked, tripping and falling down the stairs in your home where you maybe don't have to sign a waiver to be in your own home, would that be covered or?
That's a really good question. That is a good question. So I don't know, but I would still recommend you get the accident policy because, you know, that's the one issue where you may not have to sign a waiver, right? But
Right,
there are lots
yeah.
of other times you're signing waivers, so you probably want to have that coverage.
Yeah. Do we have ideas on what the cost of this is and who offers the supplemental?
Yeah, so literally you just click a button to add it on. For an individual, I think it's like $32 a month to add on. So it's really inexpensive. The $779 for the lowest cost plan does include that $32 already. So that's assuming you're adding that accident rider on there already. So the prices, you'll see, it will walk you through it. The minute you select your medical plan, the accident rider pops up for you and tells you about the accident coverage and recommends buying it. But it is really inexpensive to add that on.
So with the accident policy and the main PPO Blue Cross policy, would pretty much everything be covered other than those medications that you mentioned?
So pretty much anything that would typically be covered on a medical plan. So things that would be excluded on a medical plan would be things like plastic surgery that are not medically necessary. So that's really, it's going to look and feel like a traditional medical plan. So if it's
Those
not
two
covered today,
together are going to be equivalent to an ACA policy. Is that what I'm hearing?
right, yeah, these are ACA creditable.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, great question. The other thing that they do carve out is specialty medications. Specialty medications are also one of the key drivers of these price increases. And so instead of covering it on the medical plan, they are covering it through a specialty program that helps source specialty meds. And this is, I think, probably 2% of drugs that are dispensed. So it's not a lot of people that are on them, but the very few people that are on them, the cost is very, very high. And so they have a program where they're going to try to source these drugs through a variety of different ways. Could be grant and philanthropic programs, could be buying them overseas. Most of the drugs are manufactured overseas, so they're buying basically direct from the factories overseas, or through other programs where they're getting these at a discount. Most of the drugs in the specialty medication section, people are getting them for low cost or free through the program that they've added on. But carving it out of the medical plan is what is necessary for these grant and philanthropic programs or other means to be even accessible. Because the first question these other programs ask is it covered on your plan? And if you say yes, then we can't do any of those things. And so it's excluded on the medical plan, and then you work with this third-party company that's going to help source it in a variety of ways to find the best way for you. Okay. One of the things they're also going to do is they're going to look at other applicable drugs that may be good for that condition and have you talk to your doctor, because one drug may have a great program where the manufacturer might give it to you for free for the first 2 or 3 years. But it does the same thing as the one your doctor had originally prescribed. And so they might go, hey, if your doctor's okay with you taking this other drug that treats the same condition, we can get it to you for free. If you do it on the one that they originally prescribed, it's going to cost this. And so they're really looking for all different programs that may be applicable to help you get those really high cost drugs for free or very low cost.
I assume that at the end of this that you'll have some documents that we can review, or a website that everybody can go and check their particular like medications, for chronic conditions, or like, a lot of us in the fractional GC, we are women of a certain age, so we have certain things like hormone replacement therapy that we may be interested in.
Yes, don't let this blonde dye job fool you. There's lots of grays underneath this. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really is a traditional drug plan. So things that you're getting on your copays today, your generics, your brand names, what this outside program really is for is the very highest cost specialty drugs. And those are, think 100, 200,000 million dollar drugs. There's a brand new one that just came out for gout. It's $36,000 a month. So these are the types of drugs that we're trying to buy in a better, cheaper way and get them off the plan, because that's what's really driving a lot of these price increases on the health plans. And there are so many ways to buy them off the health plan, but you have to exclude them first before these other programs will kick in to offer help.
Okay, but there's like a website that people can check to make sure that
they'll get
the ones that
I got thousands of slides in here. I'm going to keep you here all night. You're not going to have a weekend. So yes, I'm going to give you so much information and lots of access to things that you can go in and click through. You can even enroll today for a 12-1 plan. If you need coverage on December 1st, you could sign up for December 1st. The plan renews 1/1 every year. So you'd really only have, if you signed up today, you'd really only have the current year plan for December, and then you'd have to re-enroll. But you can literally go today and start clicking through and seeing what the plans look like, seeing what the the drug lists are, et cetera. So you're going to get access today to be able to kind of start clicking through and seeing things. And if you need a plan for December, you can even enroll. So
all right, great.
yeah, this program's pretty flexible in a lot of ways. The one way it is not flexible is that if you enroll in this program and then you leave because you think you can get a better deal somewhere else, and if you find out that that is not a better deal and you'd like to come back, you do have a 6-month waiting period before you can come back. So that's kind of the incentive to really vet out your options before you leave.
Okay.
You will also have opportunity to enroll in critical illness. That's a policy that will pay you a lump sum cash benefit up to $10,000 if you're diagnosed with a major disease like heart attack, coma, stroke, end-stage renal. A lot of these diseases, you're maybe even flying to a center of excellence like Mayo Clinic or MD Anderson. So that lump sum cash benefit is a nice way to pay for that travel. A lot of times when you have one of these major illnesses, a family member is reducing their work hours to help take care of you or help travel with you. And so that $10,000 really comes in handy when you have one of those major diagnoses, because there are additional expenses to your household that often come along with that. There's also a hospital indemnity policy. It helps to pay your deductible if you are admitted to the hospital. There is additional life insurance. There's voluntary life up to $100,000 in $10,000 increments. So you'll just click right through and it'll show you all your different options and pricing for that. And you literally just click and add it to your cart. There's an accident plan. I love accident plans for families that have kids in contact sports, where you're always in the ER or urgent care with sprains and strains and x-rays. My friends that have kids in cheerleading and football and all of those types of sports, they really rely on these plans because it does help defray the cost of those ER visits or putting gas in the car to get to those follow-up visits or orthopedics or whatever, right? So any accident that you go seek medical treatment, you can turn in a claim form for the accident plan. There are 2 different dental plan options and a vision plan. So there are quite a few things that are available for you to enroll in if you'd like, or waive and kind of keep going through all of the different options. Any questions here before I kind of push forward?
Laura, why don't you come off of mute and ask questions?
I'm sorry, I'm just peppering questions in here. I apologize, but
Laura, I already like you. You have the best name ever. So.
Oh yeah, well, there you go. I apologize. I just have a lot of questions, but so first of all, for these additional options, these are supplemental to the medical plan. They're not excluded from the medical plan. Correct?
Right. Yes. So none of these things would be covered on a traditional medical plan. So your
critical illness?
is like glasses, right? If your eyes are medically ill, your medical plan covers that, right? If you
Right.
just are correcting your vision plan covers that.
But hospitals and critical illness are normally covered under medical plans.
Yeah, after a deductible. So if you choose a plan that has a deductible and you want to cover that deductible,
I
then
see.
Mhm.
So it's not an either or. If you attach on these additional options, they will pay out independent of the medical plan, and the medical plan will not take into account, oh, you already got 10 grand under this one, so we're going to reduce what we pay for ours.
Nope, they do not cross reduce. Nope.
Okay. And for the specialty medications, can you just give examples of what these like, what are the categories of illnesses? Are we talking about cancer?
So it's there's a lot of specialty medicines. The most common one I see is called Humira, Stelara, Skyrizi, a lot of the things you see advertised on TV where they're dancing at the office.
Yeah, what are they
Um,
for?
There's a lot of Crohn's, colitis. So it's for a variety of things. Some psoriasis medicines are very expensive. So
Okay,
it's a variety of things. It's about 2% of the drugs that are dispensed.
got it. So is this specialty plan or the meds plan, is it kind of similar to like a Humana plan that you get with, that you'd buy if you're on Medicare or something?
So it's not, it's more like your group plan today or like a
Okay.
traditional plan, right? You're still going to have your co-pays for generics and brand.
Right.
If you're on a specialty drug, most plans have a specialty pharmacy. You can't just go to CVS and pick up a specialty drug. You're
Mhm.
ordering it from a specialty pharmacy, mail order. They're specialized handling instructions for it. Sometimes they're
Okay.
mailing it to your doctor's office and your doctor is administering it.
Okay.
You would absolutely know if you're on a specialty med because you're not running to CVS to get it. You're going to Optum RX specialty, or you're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
no, that's why I'm asking because I assume this is for unforeseen kinds of illness, like, lymphoma or something.
not necessarily, not necessarily. It's not even that rare, right? So it's
Okay.
there are some skin conditions that
Okay.
have some very expensive specialty drugs.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I don't mean to belabor this. And then on the accidents, I think everyone had the same question, which I think you answered, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Let's do
So,
it again.
yeah, any kind of accident, right? Like, okay, so you need a waiver to go jump at a trampoline house or whatever, but like, falling off your bike and breaking your arm or, uh, tripping down the stairs or whatever, like, are all of those accidents excluded from the medical plan? Everything that's an accident
My
excluded from.
understanding is it is to the letter of the wording is that anything you sign a waiver for. But that would also be for cars. So that's interesting. Let me get some more information around
Okay.
the wording. There is, when you go through the system, 5 or 6 pages of information on that pops up
Okay.
before they let you put your credit card number down.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly.
Mhm.
Thank you for letting me ask because I'm just being annoying in the thread here. So I
No,
apologize.
it's okay. No, it's not. It's absolutely fine. This is such a cool thing, but there are some twists and turns that we
Yeah.
want to make sure you're aware of. But there are lots of documents in the portal for you to read and sign off on before you
Yeah.
can
I,
put
I,
your credit card.
I, just two more questions, and I'll be
Yeah.
quiet. So, first question is, are there any big categories of events that we normally see covered in medical plans that are going to be not covered under any of these things? Either they're not covered under the medical, they're not covered under the separate plans offered, or the additional options. Like, are there any categories of things that we're going to go, oh my gosh?
No,
Okay.
no. It is an ACA qualified health plan.
Okay. And then I guess once you start adding in all these additional options, are we still, in an economic situation that's, superior to what we're going to find on the ACA? or do
So
these all add
that's a
up?
great question. So these plans have flat rates, whether you're covering just yourself and your spouse, yourself and your kids, or your whole family. The individual exchange rates are based on your age. So every plan has a huge range of age rates. So the rates here, if you're young, may be better on the individual exchange. And so because these are not age-based rates, they're just flat rates based on the utilization of the group that you're joining into. It feels more like a corporate benefit.
I see.
The ACA exchange, a 20-year-old pays less than a 21-year-old, pays less than a
Yeah.
22, right? And so the 21-year-old rate may be better than the rate here, but the 64-year-old rate is definitely not as good as this is here, right? So
Got
this
it,
is
got it.
one option
Got
among
it.
other options for you.
Got it. Got it. Got it. That's very helpful. Thank you. All right, now I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah, no, don't
Thanks.
promise that because I'm going to give you lots more info and you're going to have more questions. So
Okay.
the other difference too, Laura, that you want to think about is that you're buying into these programs as a business. Your, you know, your agency, your firm is buying
Right.
it. So it is a tax, it's a tax write-off. It's a business expense.
Oh,
Whereas
that's interesting.
buying directly from the exchange probably isn't, not a CPA, but that's an individual
if you're-
purchase.
Even if
versus
you're a
business
solo? Even
It's
if you're a
still
solo?
it's
Yeah.
still a write-off for
Oh, is it?
yeah, I mean I'm not a CPA either, but I've been advised that I do deduct our health insurance as a solo for stuff that I bought off the state marketplace.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's
Okay,
a
cool.
different spot than you would do it for a company. But yes, you get a benefit on the taxes no matter which way you buy it. So, but yeah, when it comes to your employees and things like that, that's where you can get some benefits that you may not have been already.
Yeah, exactly. So if you do have employees, I know some of the members in these groups do, there is another option for you to choose from on top of the National Blue Cross Blue Shield plans. It is called ICHRA. It's individual health coverage, individual coverage health reimbursement arrangement. And what that is it turns cash into your insurance plan. And so your W-2 employees, you can give them tax-free dollars to go to the exchange and buy whatever plan that they want. And so that's another option if you do have employees. And so if you've got employees, you're going to have two options. You're going to have the Blue Cross plans options as well as ICHRA, where you can give some tax-free cash to your employees to go buy an ACA plan. All right, so there are two different web links that you're going to be able to use. One, if you are a sole, and that is to go, we're piggybacking on a Financial Advisors Association program. And so you're going to go into the Advisors Health link. You're going to be asked for your financial advisor code. You're going to put in 007-0070. And that is your code that you're part of this program to piggyback in. So we are kind of jumping into an existing program that has a code that you're going to put in 007-070. That's the code that's going to tell the program that you are part of the attorney's program and then can access into these plans. So it's going to ask for that financial advisor's code. Don't be afraid that you're putting in a number saying you're something you're not. This is set up so that you have a special code that will designate that you're part of this program. If you have a group and you'd like to look at the ICHRA, you could go directly to Decisely.com. Decisely is the technology vendor that I partner with to do benefits like this because they build a nice storefront where you can go and do self-serve enrollment. And so Decisely, if you have group and want to talk more about ICHRA, you could also do the medical plans, but if you want to learn more about the ICHRA option, go directly to Decisely and they will help walk you through the ICHRA program.
Laura, since you're putting links and codes here, we're going to make the slides available to everybody afterwards. Is that correct?
I'm going to email this out to you.
Thank you.
Yes. with a bunch of plan designs and stuff as well.
Great.
So yes. So once you get to, this is for the solos, right? So if you're going through the solo, you're going to get to a landing page, and on the right side, it's going to say view instant rates. You're going to just fill out your basic information, and then it's going to take you to a page where you can go through the different tabs. And so you'll be able to see the plans and the pricing for all of the plans that are offered to you. You can make comparisons. It's also going to have links. I'm going to show you right. I'm going to come back to this. Okay, so right here, you see where there's documents and links, that's where you're going to see the drug formulary and things like that. So you're going to be able to click through and pull up lots more information to get all your questions answered. So once you've gotten to the main page and put your information in and look through the medical plans, the next thing you're going to do is just set up and activate your account. So you're going to click to enroll, set up a username and password. They're going to send your email. An activation email looks like this, and you're going to just activate your account, and then that's going to get into kind of where you can make the purchases. Once you're in there, if you want to enroll your spouse and or your children, have their names, dates of birth, social security numbers, all handy so that you can put them into the system to get them enrolled as well. Super easy. If you can shop on Amazon, you can do this. You literally just click the plus sign to add a dependent, and you'd add their demographics, add your spouse, partner, etc. And so it's just super easy to add people into this program. One more reason I partner with Decisely, because their technology is phenomenal. Once you get into there, then you can see all of the different plans. If you want to select to buy a plan, you're going to click on the select plan. If you want to see more documents and links, see the network of doctors, more about the coverage, more about the drug plan, etc. There's lots of details here. Once you're ready to pick that plan, select that plan. If you don't want a plan that's offered, you're just going to click skip this benefit and then save and continue. So pick what you want, skip what you don't want, click all the way through all the options. And then once you get to the confirmation page, it's going to show you all of the things that you've enrolled in. And it's going to tell you, how did you get into this group plan as an individual? Because most individuals don't have access to group coverage. The way that this program works is it is offered through a union. Union dues are included in the premiums, and you're basically joining as an apprentice. You have no rights, responsibilities, or voting power in the union, but this is exactly how you're getting into a group. Brilliant.
Works for me. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, right. So you do have to be a business, right? So your solos are going to have your EIN and whatever your business name is. You're going to pop that in here, submit. And then there's all those documents that I told you about that are going to talk to you about the auto accident reimbursement rider, all of the things, right? So you have to read and click through and sign before they even let you get to where you can put your credit card in. This is where a lot more information is on that accident program. So this is where you want to pay a lot of attention. Once you get through here, click continue, and then they're going to set up your banking routing so that they can ACH you every month. The ACH happens usually around the 20th of the month. You can enroll for any month as long as you get into the system and get enrolled by the 15th of a month. You'll be effective the 1st of the following month. If you enroll after the 15th, it wouldn't be to the 1st of the next month. So keep that in mind.
So it looks like in the chat that you've already got several people on the site looking for information and things like that. So Alicia says, I just did a quick check and the premium is the same family, whether my spouse is covered or not, if it's me plus dependents. Is that your understanding?
No, there's employee plus children rates in there.
Okay. Is it employee plus spouse plus children, or does the spouse
So you can do employee only, employee plus spouse, employee plus children, or employed plus spouse and children. So you can slice and dice.
Okay. Alicia, does that answer that, or do you need help with that?
I'm just not seeing it do that. When I checked for me, employee plus dependents, I got the same rate as when I also did employee plus spouse plus dependents. And it just
Yeah, let me,
it said they were all family tier.
interesting. Okay, let me pull up the rates that they decisely gave me for the 2026 year.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And while you're doing that, Monica asked, are there any limitations for those people that live part of the year outside of the US?
So these plans are based on a US network of doctors. It's the Blue Cross Blue Shield. The only thing that would be covered would be in a true life and limb emergency.
Okay.
So I would really recommend an international travel policy.
And Dana asks, is there a comparison feature for exploratory purposes? E.g., if you have a plan, United Healthcare plan, and want to look at something similar, look at ABC plan.
Yeah. Can you see the spreadsheet?
No, we still have the documents for signature. Sure.
Okay. Let me. How do I stop sharing and reshare? Oh, here. Stop share. Share. All right, can you see it now?
Not yet.
And how about
Something's
now?
coming up. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So this is my spreadsheet. It's not very pretty, but this is the one they gave me because this is all about to roll out in a week or two. That I put this together to make it at least look a little bit better than what they gave me. But this gives you an idea of what the plans look like, all the way up to, all of the rates here do include that accident rider as well. So those are in there, but you can see the employee only rate, employee plus spouse rate, employee plus child rate, employee plus children. So it's employee plus children and family. So basically think of it as employee plus one or employee plus more than one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Are you going to share this with us too?
Yep.
Because that's a lot of detail on a small screen.
It's a ton of detail. Yes. Yeah.
All right. All right. Can you confirm that this is available for California practitioners as well?
It's a nationwide PPO. Mhm.
Okay. Questions about whether California could allow association-based plans. So, and the name of the union again?
The Amalgamatum 426.
Okay. How many clients or how many people are on this health insurance coverage? Do you know?
I don't know, but a lot. Yeah, a lot.
All right. Any other questions, or did I think I try to stay up to date with all of them, but I'm sure there's more questions for everybody out there.
There's a lot of think about realtors that are all 1099 self-employed. There's a ton of these realtors in these programs. There's a lot of truckers that are self-employed that are in these programs. There's just a lot of associations that this is rolled out to.
All right. Megan's got some questions on the accident. Do you want to come off of mute so you don't just type them all out?
Sure. Am I on mute now?
No, you're
No, we can hear you, Megan.
Okay. Hey. So it sounds like for most of us, we would need to get the policy plus accident. And a number of us have kids. And so there's always accidents. And saying that this would only apply largely to things that we sign waivers for. I mean, as lawyers, we're very aware that we're signing waivers all the time.
Yes.
So it sounds a little unexpected to me with the accident that it's as cheap as it is, the accidental supplemental policy. And that raises some concerns for me that it doesn't cover that much because it is fairly inexpensive. So is there any additional information you can provide on
Yeah,
that?
so I would encourage you to go in and pretend like you're shopping for a 12-1 plan, because you can go pull all of this today. You could sign up for a 12-1 plan and enroll for December. So you can go in and pull all these documents and look. Just the only thing you want to understand is that January 1 plans are a little bit different, pricing's a little bit different, but the accident plan is the same.
But what can you, I mean, do you know anything about the policy that you can share with us about why it's as cheap and yet we're using it to cover like such a wide range of potential medical expenses?
Yeah, so because you're pooling together, right? So everybody's throwing $30 in across the country on this, and it's only paying out for the people who have an accident.
Okay.
Are there any caps on the accident coverage?
You'd have to go and look at the policy. I am not an expert on every detail of the policies. But a lot of accidents too are subrogated to other coverages as well. So slip and fall at the grocery store and Walmart's policy maybe pitching into.
Yeah, I don't know how many of our PI lawyers are on here, but they're well aware of all of those coverages.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
The HSA policy, do you know anything about that?
I do. Let me slide over here. It's on the end. Yeah, so it's a $6,000 individual deductible, 30% co-insurance, up to a max out of pocket of $8,300 for an individual. This plan, once you've met your deductible, then you flip to co-pays for drugs or co-insurance for other medical conditions up to that out-of-pocket maximum. With this program, there is not an HSA bank account, so you'd want to get your own HSA bank account, which is very easy to do. And then fund it, and then recoup the savings either through, you can open it through the business, especially if you have employees, or just open an individual account and fund it, and then take the tax savings when you file your taxes. Do you have an HSA plan today?
I don't, but I was looking at them.
Yeah, I've had one for years. The average person in their retirement years is going to need $175,000 of cash to pay for their medical care and or Medicare premiums. And so an HSA is a great way, especially if you're healthy, to build a nice nest egg during your working years to help defray those costs with tax-free dollars. So that's why I love HSAs, to bank some money on a tax-free basis, grow it tax-free, invest it into the market. And then as long as my spend is on medical, dental, vision, or pharmacy care needs, I am spending it tax-free as well.
So on the accident policy, Alicia is putting these in. So the exclusions, Alicia, are those for the medical plan that it would be covered, like skiing and roller derby, that would be covered under the accident policy, or it wouldn't?
I don't know. I can tell you that the exclusions are on the FAQ when you look at the medical policy if you start a quote. And the accident policy that I dropped in the chat comes up if you click on the accident rider tab. They have a link for auto medical program accident definitions, but it does not explain, like, are there caps? How does it pay out? All of that stuff. It says that it is Association of United members for the accident rider.
So is there somebody, right? I know for myself, I'm going to need a lot more information about the accident policy. When we have questions like this, is there going to, like, do we reach out to you? Is there a phone number for us to reach out to on there?
Yes and yes and yes, or yes or yes. It's really they own the sole rights of distribution. So I'm piggybacking onto their distribution channel to help you guys out with additional option for you. So they're really the experts. But if you do have questions, if you can get them to Brian or Kim, and I can get more documents or get questions answered up until you're ready to enroll or look for 1-1. Or at that point, you can also call Decisely, and they can help. But for the meantime, it's probably best to go through this channel, because if you have the question, everybody has the question, and if we can get a frequently asked question page going and get everybody good information, it's better than having everybody either wonder and not get an answer, or have everybody call and ask the same question.
So let's talk timelines for a second. You mentioned that you could sign up for a 12-1 plan if we wanted to. Most of us are shopping for a January 1st plan.
Yeah.
But some people might be on COBRA or other type of policies for a while. What are the deadlines for getting coverage, basically?
Yeah. So you can join the plan any month of the year, because your business is joining in, right? So you're sponsoring a business plan. And so those start any month of the year. And so the only thing you need to know is that if you sign up by the 15th, you can be eligible for the first of the next month. If you sign up after the 15th of the month prior, you get pushed to the following month. So that's really the one thing you need to keep in mind, is the 15th is the key date.
All right. And then okay, I enroll my firm for me, right? And then in March, I hired an employee. They can then join on the first of the next month, or coverage first of the next month. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that we call that a qualifying life event. So joining your firm, then you get to join into the plan, right? And they couldn't before because they weren't an employee. And so that new hire experience really is their opportunity to then join your plan. And you've got 30 days from that qualifying life event. So other things that qualify are things like you get married and you want to add your new spouse to the plan. You have a baby, you want to add your new baby to the plan. Those are all qualifying life events that happen during the year, where you can add that person or take the person off, depending on what direction you're going. If you get divorced, take them off, right? And so those qualifying life events might happen during the year. You've got 30 days from that event, from the wedding, from the birth, from the decree of the divorce, to make that insurance change.
Can you, on the spreadsheet you got, can you scroll to the left so everybody can see what the different rows mean? There.
Yeah, I tried to get it to fit on one screen. It was just so much information.
I'm sure if you can share this with us, then everybody can look at the ones that apply to them or that they're considering. So
yes. Yeah. And I've got the plan designs for the dental and vision and just all sorts of stuff I can send out.
Yeah. I think for this group, give us all the information that you have.
Okay.
Right? There's going to be questions. These, data people, a lot of us, particularly on the fractional GSC side, have actually shopped plans for our clients before, been involved in that process. So all of the different, questions I'm sure that people will have.
Are there any other questions right now that you want me to either answer or take back and provide additional info, or do you want to email in to Kimberly and Brian, and we can kind of the three of us convene and get a frequently asked questions page back?
Well, am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're
We
good.
can hear you, Laura.
Okay.
Yep.
So Shireen just asked, what dental and vision do you offer? But in addition, that's a great question. But then after that, I really want to hear how should we be looking at this, and what questions have we not asked that you think are important considerations? And sort of as a corollary to that, if you were walking your sister through this, how would you go about talking about this with her from, realistically? So, but dental first.
Yeah, let me, I'll pull up the dental. Here's one of the dental plans. Let's stop sharing and then share. Can you see the dental plan?
Yes, Delta Dental.
Delta Dental, yeah, brand like high quality brand name, right? This is all high quality brand names. Your major medical network is Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Nationwide, Delta Dental, huge name in dental. If you have basic or major services, you have a $50 individual deductible on the calendar year, $1,500 of dental coverage per insured. So if you're covering your family members, each person gets $1,500. Your preventive cleanings twice a year covered at 100% in network. No deductible. Once you get into basic or major, that's covered after that $50 deductible. Basics covered at 80%. Think of that as like fillings. And then major services covered at 50%. Crowns, dentures, bridges, onlays, inlays. And then let's see the other one. The other one is a more basic dental. Let me stop sharing and reshare so you can see it. All right, can you see it now?
It's still dental.
Yeah, should still be dental. This is the other dental plan. Should say $1,000 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the lower cost plan, covers less stuff, covers up to $1,000 of dental care per year. And it's really going to be more about your diagnostic and preventive. So if you're not my age, this might be a good plan for you. If you are my age, you want the other plan. So this is if you're just getting your your cleanings, fluoride for the kids, but not getting into cavities, crowns, root canals. This is if you're there with me, this is not your plan.
And cost?
That is all in the portal. So I don't have it here with me.
Portal is only showing USA Plus plans for me. Is that because there's a change from 2025 to 2026 and it'll be Delta next year?
Can you share your screen so I can see what you're looking at?
Possibly. Let me see if I'm allowed to share my screen.
That is probably a 2025 plan because Decisely just sent me these plan summaries today.
Yeah, that's showing your coverage for 12/1.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is there a way for us to get quoted at this point for 2026 or
the 2026 rates are going to be in the portal on the 16th.
Okay.
Because if you enroll before the 15th, right, you're enrolling for 12/1. If you enroll the 16th through the end of the month, that you're enrolling for 1/1.
Okay, thank you.
And then I guess to my sort of more broad question, which is what are we not thinking of that we should be asking? And if you were sitting down with a beloved family member, how would you recommend that they think this all through compared to, you know, a more traditional employer-based plan?
Yeah, so the things that I would think about is I travel a lot. I've put myself in the hospital in multiple countries doing stupid stuff. And so I always buy a travel medical policy. There are also policies for extreme sports. It covers, the one I looked at yesterday covers, I think, 160 sports, from bungee jumping, skydiving, skiing. You can buy like if you do that stuff a lot, you can buy a year membership. If you're just covering a trip, it's really inexpensive to cover one trip. If you're traveling or doing some more extreme stuff, I would consider one of those policies. Just to have extra coverage. If you're on a specialty med, maybe reach out to me with the name of the drug and I can try to run it by their program to see, what types of programs they have or what other drugs that they may look for programs for you. The way that drug program gets triggered is you go to fill that specialty med and it gets declined, and then it gets sent over to the company that helps source it. And so they're really going to do a variety of different programs. So it's hard to know exactly what those drugs would cost. But Decisely has their words are most people get it for low cost or free. So there's a variety of different ways to source those drugs.
I think I'm asking a slightly different question, which
Yeah.
is how to think about this health plan, which I think it's great that people are being creative and trying to think about ways to make it affordable by carving out certain things and making them available elsewhere. But it's a little scary for those of us who've only been dealing with these sort of traditional health plans. So when, I guess what I'm asking is there anything that we should kind of be thinking about or asking questions about for a health plan that has all these different carve-outs versus a traditional health plan? And is there anything that's going to fall through the cracks? Or is there any area where, we should be asking questions, whether it's about family members or certain types of claims or whatever, just as between this and a full medical plan that doesn't carve out some of the basic stuff?
Sure. So I've got a lot of group plans that carve out specialty meds so that we can buy them these other ways. So this is not an anomaly. The accident's pretty creative because then they're consigning it to a secondary policy. But the plans are ACA credible, right? So they are, to the letter of the law, covering the same things that anything you buy from the Affordable Care Act is required to cover. So it is a major medical plan.
So the regular plans on the ACA also carve out accidents?
They don't. That is actually not even a mandated coverage. So there
Oh,
are
I see.
63 mandated coverages.
Right. So I'm not asking about what's letter of the law. I'm asking what's common in our group experience. Besides accidents, besides specialty drugs, what else might there be that we should ask about that is also excluded? Forget about whether it's legally mandated or not.
Yeah, nothing to my knowledge. It's a major medical plan. It is designed for people like you. I think someone just popped up in the comments. They've been doing this for 10 years. This is a credible plan that's been around for a long time.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up because I do have another call to get to. But thank you, Laura, for your time today and everybody's attendance and questions. Do appreciate it because there's always things that I haven't thought about as we have gone through this. And again, I'll provide the recording of this call to both the Hay Council and the WGCN fractional networks. So check Slack, and then for WGCN, also check your email. It'll probably be later today whenever Zoom decides to finish processing. And then Laura, you're going to provide the slide deck and all of the other additional materials like the worksheet and the flyers and things like
Yeah,
that.
I'll get this over to you
Okay.
just momentarily.
And then I will provide those to both groups as soon as I get them. And get off a call.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna try to not multitask during this.
Thank you so much. This is really awesome.
Yeah,
Laura,
thank
thank you
you.
for your excellent questions. I'm so glad that you asked so many questions because for the
Thanks.
benefit of everybody.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you guys. Talk soon.